All right. Natalie's speech is titled How to Leverage Your Toastmasters Membership to Grow Your Career Regardless of Your Profession. Natalie estimates that over the past 6 years, she's been a member of Toastmasters. Her membership has yielded at least $200,000 in additional income, which actually has very little to do with being a speaker coach and everything to do with mastering a few key skills that anyone can apply to the growth of their career. Today, she's going to show you exactly how to leverage your membership for professional success. Without further ado, Natalie Gallagher.
A few weeks ago, Shenandoah, my husband, got a phone call. It was from a gentleman named Rob that we had met at a Christmas party roughly 3 years ago. Rob had remembered something that Shenandoah had said during the course of their conversation, which is mainly he provided a very well thought out pitch about what he did for a living. So when the time came for Rob to hire someone to revamp some of his website presence, he immediately remembered the person who had a very eloquent way of describing what he did with websites. And as it so happens, Shenandoah is able to provide that eloquent description because of Toastmasters. He'd actually been practicing his business pitch during Toastmasters. So I made a joke, something along the lines of, I wonder how much money you've made off of Toastmasters. And then I got to thinking, wait, how much money have you made off of Toastmasters? In fact, how much have I made from my membership? Because there's different ways that we can measure these things, but there's a lot of very direct ways that we can calculate the value that we have gotten from our memberships. And that's what I want to share with you today. Your Toastmasters membership is a gold mine, but specifically if you master the right skills, if you master 4 key skills that I'm going to share with you today. Toastmasters is why my business is successful. I joined Toastmasters 6 years ago, and I did the math. I looked through all my clients, all my referrals, all the networking opportunities, and I estimate that Toastmasters has generated my business an extra 20 to 50K a year through the following. First, direct clients. These are other members of Toastmasters that you connect with and they decide they want to work with you or hire you or give you a great referral, which leads me to client referrals from other members of the Toastmasters community. So for instance, one of Shenandoah's website clients is a law firm. I happened to meet one of the partners of that law firm through a Toastmasters meeting at the same time that his firm needed a website being built. Opportunities and external organizations from a Toastmasters member. Everything that I did with TEDx Atlanta is because I connected with someone at Buckhead Toastmasters and she remembered that I had the public speaking background and she brought me on to help coach speakers back in 2016. So everything with TEDx Atlanta was actually a Toastmasters connection. Generation of marketing materials and strategies. Toastmasters is a gold mine when it comes to learning how to market yourself, both within employment and being self-employed. Additionally, there are many opportunities to generate marketing materials for yourself, which I'm going to talk about throughout the course of today, and learning opportunities. So I show up as my best self for my clients. So for instance, right now, this is a perfect learning ground to try out new things, to see how they go and get important feedback before you share them with potential clients or employers. So Toastmasters is why my business is successful. In fact, it's not just because I'm a trainer and a speaker coach. Shenandoah's website and SEO business reports similar outcomes from his Toastmasters membership of 10 years. And some of his best clients were met through Toastmasters or because he mastered a crucial skill within it. And we talked a lot about whether or not we could do this with people in different careers. And at the end of today, I'm going to challenge you to find that path, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I am here to say that no matter what your career is, no matter what you do for a living, whether you're self-employed or employed, I bet if you master the 4 skills I'm going to share with you, you're going to see some pretty significant results for your career. Now, here's the challenge. Many don't know how to leverage their Toastmasters membership effectively. And it goes one of 2 ways. The first is I can't do X with the club because I'm too busy working on growing my business, advancing my job, etc. I see this quite a bit. I'm too busy trying to do this, can't do this. Totally valid. The point isn't to be overwhelming. The point is to learn how to work smart. On the other side, I see this. My career is suffering because I'm spending too much time on Toastmasters stuff. I'm sure we've met multiple people who have inadvertently made Toastmasters their life. And as a result, they're overwhelmed and their career suffering because there's not a direct connection. The solution is finding the sweet spot that allows you to be active with Toastmasters, but in such a way that directly contributes to your professional growth and success. So it's identifying the specific pathways, events, or roles that will directly contribute to your career growth while also contributing to this amazing community. In order to do this, here's the first skill you have to master. So, step one is master community. Master community. You can do things like compete in the contests. This is how you meet people in different clubs and you really refine your skills. In fact, competing in contests is a great way to really propel your speaking skills because it forces you to practice, do it again, practice, get feedback, do it again. And it's kind of scary, actually. So compete in the contests. Attend district events. This happens to be at TLI, this photo, but there's workshops, TLI, conferences. There's so many events that the district puts on that you can attend and meet other wonderful Toastmasters. Join the Facebook group. Everything gets marketed on Facebook. There's lots of sharing of successes and wins, and it's a great way to see what's going on within the district. Visit other clubs. Now, there was a point that I was a member of 3 Toastmasters clubs. That's a little extreme, but the reason I did it is I had just moved to Atlanta and I wanted to meet people who were invested in growing themselves professionally and personally. And everybody who comes to Toastmasters, they come because they want to get better. So just by visiting other clubs, just dropping in and seeing what it's all about is a great way to make new connections and meet new interesting people. And you can help SRT plan and execute our specialized advanced workshops for the district. As you know, we're an advanced club, and one of the services that we provide for the district is we put on advanced level workshops. So for instance, this fall, we're going to be putting on TED Style for Toastmasters. So just getting involved with that workshop is a great way to connect with the community. The benefits of this are you will build a network of many people across a variety of professional circles who know you and the value that you bring to the table and what you can do to help others. It is a great way to make friends and build a really phenomenal network of people who are going to remember you the next time that amazing new job opportunity shows up, or they're looking to give a referral, or they need someone to help with something. So build a masterful community. However, there's one caveat. Make sure that you are showing up to these various events and clubs to show, not sell. The number one way you can shoot yourself in the foot is if you show up handing out your business cards, harassing people for leads, talking about getting referrals right away before they even know who you are. So show up to build community, master your community before you move into any kind of pitch mode. You're there to serve and connect, and you grow your network organically that way. Step 2 is to master professionalism. So as you master your community, it's really important that you show up as your best self. And by doing that, you master professionalism. Are you flaky about finding a replacement for your missed role? Do you just phone it in when you do show up for your role? Do you choose not to receive and apply valuable coaching? As in, are you growing as a speaker? Are you growing as an evaluator and a coach? Are you growing as a professional? Do you avoid helping the club with additional needs, such as serving as an officer or help planning membership events that drive, bringing in guests and new members? If you do, that's okay, because there's always time to grow and make changes. Never underestimate the importance of reliability, consistency, and being willing to contribute. When you show up to Toastmasters, you are showing up as your professional self, whether you fully believe that or not. So what you do here is what people assume you do everywhere. You don't have to be perfect. Everybody has an off day, everybody stumbles, everybody sometimes just can't take anything else on. But you do need to establish a pattern of reliable behavior. Let me give you an example. I've been watching Chris Bush, our lovely Sergeant at Arms, tonight's Toastmaster and our possible incoming president. And I noticed that Chris was super reliable about things and he was always prepared. So when I got the opportunity to MC TEDx Georgia Tech, and I thought it'd be better with a co-MC, he was the first person I asked. And Chris showed up in spades We prepped all the speakers together. We wrote all of our speaker intros. We mapped out the flow of the show. We did some blocking. We inserted some jokes. We got there early. I was not able to attend the rehearsal the night before, so he was able to fill in and do that and let me know what happened. Overall, it was an amazing experience because the professional that Chris shows up as in Toastmasters, he also brought to this external event in front of an audience of about 100 people. So show up as your best professional self and use Toastmasters to learn how to master professionalism. When you develop a reputation as someone professional, reliable, consistent, and engaged, word spreads and people want to work with you. Speaking of wanting to work with people, how do we get the word out? Well, we master marketing, and Toastmasters is a marketing gold mine. And I keep using the word gold mine because that's really what it is. It's extremely valuable. And if you tap a vein of gold, it keeps producing more gold. And that's what Toastmasters is. There's multiple ways that you can learn marketing here. The first is you can practice pitches for your business, for your work, for your cause, whatever it is. You can practice client presentations. In fact, I've seen a number of people come through Speakers Roundtable preparing for a client presentation. One of the things that separates Shenandoah from many other web designers is that Shenandoah has learned how to master the client presentation, and he stands out from the other website designers who are spending all their time in front of a screen and not engaging with audiences. You can practice job interviews, specific questions, specific scenarios, practicing very challenging answers, like when they ask you if you failed. That's a great, great place to practice. So that way you sound competent and trustworthy and savvy. You can also practice things like performance evaluations, especially if you're in a position of management. Being able to coach your team effectively and help others learn and grow is so valuable to also grow in your own career and a successful team. Beyond that, you can also think about the projects and goals you accomplish in Toastmasters as something that you can share on your resume, your bio, your LinkedIn, as examples of your skills. So for instance, in my official bio, I absolutely put that I was the education coordinator for the district and I designed learning curriculum for the conference. That's something I did that directly supports my career. It shows my skills, and it also shows that I'm willing to show up and contribute to something bigger than myself. So never underestimate the wonderful things that you do in Toastmasters and how you can use them to really round out your experience as a professional. And then finally, you can master marketing by generating marketing materials if you have a website or your LinkedIn or your social media profiles. This particular photo was taken at the Creating Killer Content workshop that we did about 3 years ago. And this is a photo that's on my website. I have a video clip of myself training that I've shared with numerous potential clients so they can get a feel for my style. You can get testimonials. You can get lots of materials that you can use to build your personal brand online. All of this is to say there's numerous marketing opportunities that you can pursue within Toastmasters that go above and beyond even doing something like serving as the VPPR, which is learning how to market a club. So step 3 is master marketing. Now, I have shared with you several big ways that you can leverage Toastmasters to grow your career. And at this point, maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed. And I get it. I sometimes feel overwhelmed too, especially because there are so many opportunities. So step 4 is master balance. Too many Toastmasters activities that don't connect to your goals will lead to burnout and resentment. So for example, I specifically do not pursue a leadership role beyond the club, like area or division director, because it doesn't directly connect to what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to grow as a professional. So I make sure that I leave those opportunities for someone else and focus on the ones that do support my professional growth. On the flip side, avoiding all Toastmasters activities because you're too busy means you aren't getting the value that you could. You never know what kind of connection you can make or what kind of skill you can learn that will promote your professional growth and make your job and your work just a little bit more fulfilling. So here's how you master balance. Identify your main professional goals and then engage in Toastmasters activities that directly support them and then say no to what doesn't. Now, I'm going to challenge you, my lovely audience, to come up with something that might not seem related to Toastmasters. So take a minute. I want you to write down one professional goal you have for yourself. Make it a real one, but take a minute, write down one professional goal you have for yourself. And then we're going to test this out. When I have someone who wants to volunteer, go ahead and raise your digital hand. And Gail, if you can let me know whose hand went up first, that would be very helpful. And make sure that it's specific. So not a revenue goal, because that's a little harder to connect. All right, Claudia, go for it. Give me a professional goal.
Hold on. Professional goal that I'm working on is learning ways verbally to disagree agreeably.
Ooh. So, Claudia, there's a few things that you can do to promote this goal. The first is in the motivating others pathway, there actually is a whole section about analyzing your audience and presenting evidence and basically engaging in discourse with someone who might disagree with you. So there's actually a specific path and pathways that you can work on that would support that goal. On a micro club level, you can also do things like SRT's hosted debates before. You can do a panel type situation. You can get really creative with learning how to work through this specific professional communication goal. And I happen to know that you're a facilitator, so that's work you can take with you into your field.
Great, great. Good ideas.
Thank you. Let's do one more. What's a professional goal you have? Who's got a professional goal? What are you working on? Chad.
Hey, so this goal really has nothing to do with my current profession. I'd actually like to start a new one. I'd like to write a book.
Ooh, Chad. I think that's wonderful. So first, I would highly recommend Mastering Community because there's several authors that I've met in Toastmasters. And by authors, I mean they work with a publisher, they've produced numerous books, they're avid writers, they've got the writing background. So mastering that community, showing up to the events. The second thing you can do is, and I'm blanking on it, Amanda, maybe you can help me with this. I know that there's a specific pathway about telling stories and organizing narratives. Is that coming to mind? There's like 30 pathways, but I'm fairly
There's
certain
11.
There's 11.
But yes, you could do that in the humor pathway. You could do that on almost any of the pathways. You could focus on working on your stories, actually.
Absolutely. So multiple pathways. And then finally, Chad, I bet if you joined Speakers Roundtable, there's at least 2 of us in here who used to be writing instructors. And so that is an amazing resource that you can tap and connect with. See what I did there? A little plug for my club. The whole point is once you start going through Toastmasters as a whole, the pathways curriculum, community events, leadership positions, and you start to identify things that directly connect to your goals, as in they're going to teach you the skills that you need to learn to get better, that's when the doors start opening up. So here's how you get massive ROI from your Toastmasters membership. First, master community. Connect with people both within and beyond your club because you never know who's going to have an amazing referral or opportunity to share with you, and vice versa. You never know when you're going to be able to share something with them. Master professionalism. Show up as your best, most reliable self to Toastmasters. And when word spreads that you're the kind of person who shows up and delivers, that's when opportunities come knocking. Master marketing. Learn how to talk about your business, your work, your goals, your career in such a way that's compelling for others. They understand it, they value it, and they're on board with what you want to accomplish. And then master balance. Identify those specific opportunities that will teach you what you need to learn to become a savvy, sophisticated professional and develop the kind of reputation that gets you the referrals and the job opportunities that you seek. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I'm very excited to hear your feedback, Mr. Toastmaster.